Tempers are running hot on both sides right now. We've got rappers going at rappers, fans clashing with fans, and stan communities at each other's throats. On one end of the spectrum, you've got some extreme takes coming out of Jay-Z's corner, people genuinely claiming that a single freestyle has generated more buzz than all three of Drake's recent studio albums combined. On the other end, you've got responses like, nobody cares what Jay-Z has to say in 2026, unless he's explaining why his name showed up in those files. And even following his recent live performance alongside The Roots, some people are still coming for him, specifically demanding to know why he didn't perform any tracks from his old collaboration with R. Kelly. The pettiness is fully on display out here, and at this point it's reaching levels that go well beyond a standard rap beef for a lot of people involved. We've also got more rapper reactions rolling in, including some direct clapbacks from artists who got named on that Jay-Z freestyle. On top of that, the internet was sent into a frenzy after a tape allegedly surfaced online featuring Diddy, 50 Cent's ex, and a third individual identified as a male escort. Now we've got rappers going back and forth out here. Hitman Holla and Meekox are debating who's stacking more money, traditional album sales numbers, and whether Jay-Z should still be rapping about his billionaire status at this stage of his career. And honestly, if this battle does end up happening, leaning on those kinds of metrics in the bars probably won't land as effectively as people think, at least not if we're being fair about it. Because when you really break it down, neither side has a clear financial knockout punch that changes the conversation significantly. What makes this even more interesting is that hip-hop has always had a complicated relationship with extreme wealth and a pretty glaring double standard around it. You'll regularly find people who publicly argue that billionaires shouldn't exist, and those same people will turn around and passionately debate why their favorite rapper deserves every dollar of his billion. The irony writes itself. Billionaires are bad, unless it's your artist.
We at war with each other. They behind our backs grinning. Glad you took the time today to finally admit it. Combed out the dress, stepped in the booth and got specific. Said the quiet part out loud. Now the people gotta listen. You finally said the words we already knew was true. You don't see us as your equals. You see workers under you. Talking about perpetuity, ownership, and revenue. But what's akin to a people that no longer believe in you? See, you build an empire. I ain't taking that away. But every time the people cry, you got less and less to say. Everybody your op, when they question how you play, then you hide behind the money while the culture catch the blame. You say rappers can't touch you, you got bigger friends now. Politicians, billionaires, boardrooms, and compounds. But the same hood that crowned you is the hood you look down on. The same people that built you is who you flesh your crown on. You became what you used to rap against. The suit got rich and now he talking like the establishment. Every bar sound like a shareholder meeting. Less reasonable doubt, more quarterly strategic. See, I ain't mad you got rich. Get every dollar you can. I'm mad you talk to the people like they don't understand. Like we ain't watch every move, every partnership and plan. Like we ain't see you go from hustler to the company man. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the disconnect. You see a balance sheet. We see lack of respect. You see business decisions. We see cultural neglect. And every time you grab the mic, you sound more corporate than a threat. So keep the billion-dollar talk. Keep the boardroom applause. The people still got questions and they bigger than awards. Because power ain't about money. Power ain't about fame. It's whether people still believe you when they hear your name. And judging by the conversation, judging by the response, the throne ain't under attack. The people just moving on.
Jay-Z would be completely fine if he simply didn't care how people perceived him in relation to his wealth and capitalism. But based on his recent interviews, it's clear that he cares deeply about that perception. And that's precisely why this angle of attack is only going to gain more traction as this situation continues to unfold. Not too long ago, Jay-Z was publicly stating that he has never taken advantage of anyone throughout his career and business dealings. That's a claim that a number of his former associates would strongly push back on, and we'll get into that in just a moment. Because at the core of this tension is a contradiction that's becoming harder for him to maintain. He wants to be seen as a community leader, an activist, a man of the people, while simultaneously and unapologetically boasting about his billionaire status. Holding both of those images at the same time is a difficult balancing act, and his critics are
squabble with you. It's not even a fair fight. Jay, them bars you spitting there, you ain't on the level where Drake is rapping right now. Go on, old man. We want no issue. Just bring your old lame ass on. Go on. You popping out don't scare nobody. You've never won a beef. I don't remember. Well, no, we ain't giving the prodigy shit. We ain't doing that. Man. Cam washed you. Nas washed you. Man, get out of here, man. And Jay-Z and 50 been washing you without even records. Like, come on. Listen, senior citizen, please step to the left. Step to the left. Aubrey is in his prime. He wants nothing to do with you. Go ahead, old man. Bye. Let me tell you this. This was a weak-ass attempt. They think they could do the same trick on the boy.
But surely he should have seen this coming. Jay-Z was always going to respond to Drake, just as Drake should have anticipated some incoming shots on Iceman after Jay-Z stepped in to assist Kendrick Lamar. That's how this game works. You pick a side, you accept the consequences. And it's worth remembering that Jay-Z and Drake had already been trading subtle jabs at each other for years before things ever escalated to this level. This didn't come out of nowhere. The tension had been quietly building long before either of them made it explicit. Now, speaking of former associates, Oskino, who found himself on the receiving end of a diss during Jay-Z's Freestyle, has been firing back in recent videos. And honestly, he seems to be loving every...
The camel, the goat. Not the camel, the goat. I recall Jay-Z having dreadlocks, right? Were you that rich you could make your dreadlocks turn into an afro? He's filthy. Good Lord. I think it was Bone Thugs and Harmony. I think it was Lazy Bones. Good Lord. I can't believe you went on there and acted a fool in Philadelphia. Your feelings hurt. Your panties are in a bunch. Good Lord. Shame on you. You're supposed to be up here. Let me tell y'all something. If I got $1 billion and my wife Beyonce, I would not be in Philadelphia on no stage talking about Dirty Oskino and whoever else he was talking about.
Look, it's pretty clear who the real target was, Drake. The others who got mentioned were essentially filler, in my opinion. It's a similar move to what Drake did on Family Matters, when he took shots at what he called everybody. But everyone watching knew the real target was Kendrick Lamar the entire time. Same energy here, just from the other direction. And Jay-Z also took a moment to address being labeled a stuttering tatty patty, something that had been making the rounds as a dig against him, and he made sure to put that to rest in the freestyle.
8,000 years old, bro. You don't know what hairstyle you want, bro. You know how girls be like, I don't know, I want my hair down. I don't know if I want braids out. You 69,000 don't even know what hairstyle to get. So let me find out your dreadlocks was weave. If your dreadlocks was weave, bro, listen, you got bigger fish to fry. You don't need to be talking about no dang teeth at all. If you got weave in your hair, bro, shame on you. First of all, I didn't like the fact that you trying to be Basquiat. Basquiat was a gay artist from New York City, right? Not because he's gay, and I'm bashing no gay people, so y'all calm down. I'm just saying, why would I want to be like him? Why would I want my hairstyle like him? Oh, you've been lost touch with reality with people, bro. You're gone. You live in that big house, empty, Beyonce in there dancing, put all pregnant and dance movies, watching the kids, you're bored. You watch on YouTube with Nicki channels, watching everything, you're bored. You said, remember who I am. I remember who you are. That's why I expect more from you. I expect you to carry like an OG billionaire. But now you're acting like a bookie butt. And I gotta check you, Hov. You're not exempt from this, okay? You stuttering, you a chatty patty. I would rather be a stuttering, chatty.
And at the root of his grievances with Jay-Z appears to be a specific allegation that Jay-Z has allegedly conducted himself in a way that mirrors a certain well-known hip-hop mogul when it comes to how he compensates, or rather fails to fairly compensate, the people who helped build his empire.
But you got this narrative that people blame you for whatever they're going with their life and all that. Nobody blames you for anything. All they said was stop taking music and stuff like that and not paying people properly. If you give Sparks 5% of that Just Want to Love You song, he's making millions of dollars. But you don't want to see anybody with anything. That's just a fair thing. I was there when you stole the song. I don't care what Guru lying it. People lie for you, bro. You got to respect the fact that I keep it the same. I don't care who you are, bro. You said somebody down on their luck, right? Again, right? You saying that to a crowd of people that's poor. So you lost in the sauce. See, when you're from the ghetto, sometimes you have hard times, right? Even if I have hard times, it's okay. I'm from the ghetto for real, Jay-Z. The thing about hard times is they don't last forever when you built like a soldier like me. So you should be happy. You want to call me a chatty patty? I ain't out there pushing my pistol like I used to be doing. Y'all should be very glad. And when your bozo friend Bleak, Memphis Bleak, that's never been to Memphis, talking to me with all this violence, right? Violence. I never said violence to nobody. I mean, I wouldn't say, you say my name, all this is going to get me paid, bro. Bro, I can't believe you, bro. Let me tell you something. When you got $1 billion, you still want to be in Philly on the stage, that means you're an attention whore. You You're attention seeker. You want all the attention. He mad Drake popping. Drake, young, handsome, you took his spot. He want the attention. You should respect the fact that I treat you just like I treat everybody else. I don't care about no money you got. Any man that do everything in his power to not take a DNA test, and when the kids, he know they is. Why would I respect that? I got kids, I didn't want to take the DNA test, but see, regular people, we don't have $1,000 billion trillion. We can say paying judges and paying people that don't come do all the final loopholes. We men, we take the test. As soon as we know, I know I slept with you, I'm taking the test. I don't care how much I don't want to be in a situation. That's what men do. Oh, when you're 60 years old, you don't supposed to start off with a new look. You're not a new rapper. You're like, what are you doing? I'm confused. I thought you got billions of dollars so you can retire and go home and watch TV. He is a bona fide attention seeker. But thank you for the shout out, bro. But remember, I'm the same dude that dissed Nas for you. I'm the same dude that you stole a lot of songs from. The ideas, you know, say these rap, making they say raps every day to you, every rap I got. Me getting signed by you and all that changed my life. I appreciate everything. You'll never heard me say, oh, this, that. All I said was, bro, you could have looked out for people with songs.
And now, Bobby Shmurda has entered the chat, and he is not holding back whatsoever. He came out swinging, posting NWA, laughing my head off. Dude's out here 56 years old having an identity crisis. Like, who are you going to be next? Sit down, old man. You're too old for all of this. And he kept going, this time responding directly to Jay-Z taking shots at Tory Lanez on the freestyle. You've put people behind bars, me, Tory, and who knows who else. Old man takes several seats. And if that wasn't enough, comedian Bubba Dub also jumped into the conversation with his own.
Man, what y'all doing to Jay-Z? Nigga like he in the Black Panther part. What the fuck y'all doing with Jay-Z? Jay-Z is a billionaire. He ain't got time for the small shit. Y'all got Jay-Z out here freestyling? I don't like this internet shit no more, man. I don't like how y'all making certain people feel like they gotta come out and respond. What the fuck y'all doing to Jay-Z? He gonna drop this freestyle. Everybody telling me go listen to the whole freestyle. New York is back. The Knicks back. But Jay-Z? Man, that shit trash.
And Dame Dash is coming in relatively low-key compared to everyone else. His contribution so far being a simple reaction calling Jay-Z a goofball, complete with a laughing emoji and a direct tag. Low effort, but it's only the beginning. Because between Dame Dash and Oskino, these two have enough content and history to keep the internet fed for weeks, while everyone waits to see how Drake ultimately responds to all of this. And some people are already convinced that Drake is better off not responding at all. The argument being made goes something like this checklist. Can't match Jay-Z in money talk, can't match him in family talk, can't match him in marriage talk, can't match him in hits, can't match him in cultural impact, can't match him in art collection, can't match him in watch collection, and yet he's still going to try. And if that happens, a lot of people are bracing themselves for another one-sided beatdown. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments on that checklist. Do you agree with all the points? Now, shifting over to the Diddy situation, following the alleged leak of footage reportedly featuring Diddy, 50 Cent's baby mama, and a male escort, 50 took to social media to weigh in. He shared a report covering the story with the caption, "I'm side-eyeing every woman that's been with him," along with an eyes emoji. He then added, "She's not the victim here. Sire is. Can you imagine going through life only to find out this is your mother? The court system in LA apparently thinks that's fine." That commentary placing accountability on the baby mama's side didn't sit well with everyone. Some users pushed back with responses along the lines of, "He's going to end up losing his relationship with his other son too if he doesn't stop putting his baby mama on blast online. I understand they don't get along, but that's still his son's mother. Whatever issues he has with her lifestyle, social media is not the place for it. At this point, both of them risk becoming an embarrassment to Tyre." And that's a fair perspective to consider. But here's the other side of it. This story was already viral before 50 Cent said a single word. The tape was already circulating. Perhaps the real question is whether his baby mama considered the possibility of footage like this surfacing before making those choices. Because 50 didn't leak the tape, and he certainly didn't tell her to get involved with Diddy after their relationship ended. And let's not forget, she previously hurled allegations against 50 that were reportedly thrown out. But the moment he acknowledges a tape that's already trending everywhere, suddenly he's the villain in the story. And then 50 took things in a completely different direction, joining what he jokingly called the Free Diddy movement, this time based on a very specific and very viral detail from the alleged footage. His caption read, "Free Diddy. He has been through enough, being born without a knob," laughing emoji included. And that particular post sent the internet into a frenzy for reasons that probably don't need much elaboration. Pause. And since Jay-Z spent that entire freestyle taking shots at what felt like half the industry, going as far as mentioning Jaguar White by name, but somehow never once addressed 50 Cent, some people